Hello everyone, welcome back if you've been here on lately. Before we jump into today's video, I just want to go and let you know that you should go check out my latest video on the channel. It is a restaurant in Ravenwood, which is the world that came out with Life and Death expansion pack, and it's a pretty nice restaurant, very dark vibes, and then in the back we have a mysterious garden, so you should go check it out if you didn't. And let's hop into today's video. So today's build is inspired by the upcoming pack in combination with the series of Disney movies from around many years ago. So for today's build, I really wanted to build because there's been for a long time now an announcement of a new expansion pack that's coming to the game, and this expansion pack is called Enchanted by Nature, and it is a fairy expansion pack, so we have fairies in The Sims in a bit really soon. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about this pack because I feel like it shouldn't be an expansion pack, it should be just a game pack, but yeah. And I don't know if I really want to buy the pack, because if you've been here around lately, I do not do gameplay, but I do like to build in this game, and so when I like a pack because of the build and buy items, then I basically buy it. But this pack, I'm not so sure. But for today's video, I have done a while ago, not so long ago, but I've done this build. I really had this urge to watch the Tinkerbell movies again. So if you don't know, Tinkerbell is a series of movies actually, and if I'm not wrong, there are 6 movies in this series, and it's about a fairy and her life around this world, what fairies are doing basically. And the first movie came out in 2008, and the first movie follows around how this main character Tinkerbell is being born, created, and how she's going around her talent, because when fairies are born or created, they have a specific talent, and each fairy has a different talent. And so Tinkerbell gets the Tinkerer talent, and in this first movie she navigates through this hard time she has with it, because she just can't make it work, so for whatever reason, for the beginning of the movie. And she's navigating through all those adventures, trying to help with a big event coming, and then she even wants to change her talent, which is not possible, but she's trying. And here there are the main characters, and the main characters are Tinkerbell. There is also Silver Mist, which is a water fairy. There is also Iridessa, a light fairy, and we have also Fawn, animal fairy, and then we have Rosetta, the garden fairy. This is mainly those fairies that inspire this build for me, because when it comes, for example to Vidya, she's a negative character in this series of movies, but sometimes she is feeling remorse and trying to help when she's done something bad. So yeah, but basically this build has water. It has a part of the build where you can tend with your Sims 2 of the sheds and 2 of the chicken coops, and there is also a greenhouse and more about that, more on the rooftop with plants. And so basically your Sims can come here for gardening, for taking care of animals, and also for improving their handiness skill, because Tinkerbell is a tinkerer fairy, which means she's building stuff. So in this build we have 3 different structures. There is the barn where I put the chicken coops, there is the greenhouse plus tree house with also more plants like flowers, crops, and on the rooftop. And then there is the 3rd structure, which has more or less the Tinkerer inspired areas. We have a lot of hand working tables. We have also 1 pottery area, and then painting easels throughout the build, and obviously the really beautiful water area. So yeah, this build is more or less very beautiful for screenshots and a bit of gameplay. Obviously I just described it, but Overall, I do hope that it doesn't slow down your game, because there is so much landscape that I put in this build, and yeah, it is really beautiful. And at some point even my game was a bit laggy when I was trying to put stuff on top of the water, like I was trying to put all those insects and like fire, I don't remember the name, but yeah, anyways, all those insects that are around water, you know. And yeah, so talking about the movies, I really loved the movies when I was small, and the first movie came out in 2008, the second one 2009, the third one 2010, and so on. But my favorite movies probably would be the second and the third movie. In the second movie, Tinkerbell, our main character, has a task, I don't remember exactly, but she needs to gather some fairy dust, something, a specific thing for a moonstone she got for a big festival, and she breaks the stone by mistake, and she needs to go in a forgotten land or so, where there is like a abandoned ship. She wants to find this mirror that will grant her a wish, and in a lost treasure, and she goes there to do that so she can put the moonstone together. But I don't tell you more what happens, but it's really fun, and it's really nice, and yeah. And in the third movie, she finally is allowed to go on land, because Tinker fairies are not allowed to go on land, because they just stay on the Pixie Hollow Island, I think it's called, and they just basically build stuff for the other fairies that bring seasons upon land. And she's allowed to go finally, and she's very happy, and she meets this she is meeting this super cute girl, and she befriends the girl, but the other fairies are making a whole mission to rescue her. But meanwhile, she's just befriending this girl, and yeah, her father is actually a collectioner. He's collecting butterflies, and so when he finds out Tinkerbell is in there, he wants to take her to a museum, to an exposition, which is not so good, you know. But the girl, together with the fairies, are saving Tinkerbell. It's a really nice movie. I really love how much I don't know how much you know, those concepts around those movies are, like how they teach you in those movies. They show you that actually the fairies are bringing seasons upon us. Like in autumn, the fairies go and paint the leaves into those like fall colors, and then there are like other fairies that help the animals go to sleep for the winter period, and then in spring there is the other fairies, the garden fairies, that are going to plant everything, and it's just so magical. It is really a series of really good movies for children. I really love those movies. I love the idea of like there are fairies out there, and you can build those small doll houses for them, and they exist out there, and yeah, it's just so adorable. And I really I could really recommend you to watch those movies. They're really nice. I never got past the fourth one. As I said, there are six movies. I never got past the fourth one, but hopefully I do. But while I was doing this build, I watched like 3 of them again in a row, and yeah, I really love those movies. And yeah, but to talk about this like magical fairy inspired theme in Sims, I gotta say, you don't see a lot of this on my channel, because I'm not good with it and I'm not really enjoying it as much. For me, it's a lot to work on those, because you really need to put some hard work in there and have some huge inspiration for it, because it's fairy like vibes. You need to make it look really nice, magical, like tree houses. When you think of fairies, you think maybe of tree houses, of those like a lot of plants, a lot of I don't know, it's a lot of work. And so with this build, I was like feeling it every time, and I was like, oh my god, when am I gonna finish this build, because it's taking me so long. I just want to finish it. It just seemed like it wasn't gonna end anytime soon, and definitely not my favorite style to build with. And yeah, but we'll see, maybe more in the future. If you do say you like it and you leave your opinions down in the comments, then we'll see. But yeah, it is not really that hard. It is nice in the end. I like the final result. It looks really beautiful, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I used a lot of packs, so be aware of that, okay? And it is also playable. I played tested it. It was a bit annoying, but I ended up having my sim going in all those areas that are there for being playable for gameplay, and it was possible. And I did not try to get my sim howsoever in the water, so hopefully you don't try that, because I don't know if it's possible, because there is so much landscape everywhere that maybe sims are not able to go into the water. And also there are fishes too in the water, but I did not want to put those signs for fishing up there, because I was like, that's a bit cruel, you know, like those, imagine Silvermist, the water fairy, seeing that we are gonna fish the fishes. That sounded very weird. She it would break her heart, you guys, that we are going there, taking those fishes out of the water and, you know, make them dinner or so. I don't know. But yeah, so it was part of the plan, okay? It was all part of the plan. And so yeah, I built in not Brillianton Bay, oh my god, Henford on Bagley. This is the word that came with Cottage Living expansion pack. And before I started this build, in the back of this lot I put a bunch of trees, make it look like a mini forest, because those lots, the big farm lots or whatever in this world, when you go there, the environment is so freaking simple and so plain that you're thinking, oh my god, is this even real? Like, it seems so plain, so like nothing, no life in there whatsoever. And so then I decided to put them there with MC Commander, no, with tool mod. And so yeah, we have now a nice background for this build, and yeah, I hope you like it. But talking about a new pack, I did look at the trailers. In case you didn't know, there are trailers for it already. There is the trailer, there is the gameplay trailer, and yeah, it looks pretty interesting, I would say. I don't know, there is the exactly in the gameplay trailer, exactly the last scene when they zoom out of the world before it ends, and you see that they are on a small land, and next to it is like a huge tree, like they were on just a small piece of land next to a huge tree or something, I don't know, floating in the air or something. I hope I saw it correctly, but that seemed really cool and that looked very beautiful. But more than that, I don't know, maybe the plant part I would like, but still, it's so sad that we cannot build a bit more freely. Like, you know, in those fairy tales, whatever movies or so, inspirational art on the internet, there is those like houses that look like they are almost in the ground, you know, like in Lord of the Rings, the Hobbits, I think they had it like that, and it's so beautiful. They are like integrated in the ground, like the roof is completely like a hill, you know what I mean? And it literally looks so beautiful, and I'm so sad we cannot do that. And yeah, then there is not much there for me, that much, but yep, I don't know. But yeah, I'm waiting for the pack reviews on YouTube for when it comes out, and we'll see how that goes. And yeah, and for today's build, I really wanted maybe to center more this build. I thought about this, what would it be if I make a lot that's divided by 4 squares, 4 parts, let's say, and each part is a different season. But then I was thinking, but how would I do that? Like, how? Because there are seasons in this game, right? If you have seasons, then everything will be either sunny or rainy or, I don't know, snowy, autumny, I don't know, you cannot really do that. But then I was thinking, oh my god, that would be so cool. I mean, you could do it maybe if you do it on underground or so, but I don't know, but it would be nice with a lot of white if it's like the snowy part, and a lot of fall colors if it's like the autumn season, I don't know, but that would be also nice. But yeah, for this build I had first a bit of a sketch in my notebook, because I really wanted to know how I'm gonna do it, and I really knew I wanted to have a big area of water in the middle, then an area where I can have more animals. But because I built on this lot, which is not the biggest in Henford on Bagley, I did not have that much space to work with, so it ended up being only 2 chicken coops and 2 sheds for animals, for a cow or a llama or whatever you want. And then I wanted to really have a nice area where there are a lot of crops because of the Rosetta, the garden fairy from Tinkerbell, and that ended up being okay. We have, like, as I said, a greenhouse, then in the tree house, inside the tree house, we have a lot of flowers. The crops, the vegetables and the fruits are in the greenhouse. In the house, the tree house, we have the flowers, and then on top of the tree house where the flowers are, we have some crops from cottage living. And then in the other tree house we have, I think, 2 inside areas with like woodworking tables, and then we have the rooftop, which is more of a hangout spot but still with some woodworking tables. And so yeah, and as you see here, I tried to make it look like this tree. This is a really like a tree house where it's been built around the stem, how do you say the stem, the middle of a tree, you know. And then when I was playtesting it, it didn't work. So there is a hack for this kind of thing. Usually when something like this blocks the path of your sim, you can just go in the basement level, go with item there in the basement level, and before you click to place it, just rise it up with your control and brackets keys. Just size it up very high. That's a bit hard because you don't know in what spot it goes, but just size it up really high above the basement level, and then voila, it looks like it is out on the ground, but it is basically placed in the basement level, so it cannot block your sim's path. I know that does not make much logic, but it does work that way. And yeah, I did that in my gameplay series, and yeah, for this build, it just felt like landscape will never end. It just felt like it just keeps on going, it just keeps on going. And yeah, I really like it because I used a lot of live edit debug objects from a lot of packs because it's so beautiful, and I was like, I need to use it, you know, I need to. And yeah, I really like this build because at some point also, you know, when Growing Together came out, it's that expansion pack for families or so, we got a few items that look a bit fairy inspired. If you go into the plant category, there is that small like mushroomy house in there with some like plants, and I just sized them up and put them on the rocks at the very end to look like they're small houses for the fairies, you know, just for the imagination, for the fantasy, you guys. And then I also put around maybe a werewolf statue inside the stones at the bigger part of the river, and also some gnomes around, and also the werewolf gnomes around, and it looks so pretty. And you know, it's just good for the fantasy of the brain. And in the end, I did decide at this lot to save it as a generic lot because no, as a park, guys. It was as a generic lot, but I noticed it doesn't really have sims are not really coming to the lot so much. So then I changed it into a park, and when I changed it into a park, you have some requirements to meet when you build a specific lot, and there was a monkey bar in there, like playground objects, and I just put a monkey bar at the bottom of the river because I did not have any free space on this lot anymore, and I just put it at the bottom of the river, so I made the requirement. And yeah, it is flagged as a park. I hope I saved it as a park when I saved the tray files. If it's generic, then you can change it, but yeah. And then that's the video for today, you know. And I don't know, just let me know what is your opinion about Enchanted by Nature. Are you waiting for fairies? Are you not so excited? Do you not like occult sims so much? Or what's your opinion on it? But yeah, me personally, not fan of it, but I might say, I have to say, when werewolves came out, the game pack, I really like the build and buy aspect of werewolves. I really love it. It's really beautiful. Like more like worn, used stuff that's not so beautiful, it's dirty, scratchy and so on. I like it a lot, and that pack is really beautiful, especially when it comes to the live edit objects. So the environment objects, they are so beautiful, and I really love that pack. But yeah, so for today's build, this was the build, and there is also wishing well from Romantic Garden stuff pack in the back of this build somewhere at the left. So if you wanna take your Sims there and make some wishes, bring someone from the dead in the Sims, you can, I hope. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy this build, and I hope that it works in your game if you do decide to have it in your game. And yeah, until next time, go check out my latest video, and I'll see you in my next video, I guess. And until then, just take care of yourselves. I wish you a great day, a great rest of your day, whatever it is for you, you know, morning, afternoon, evening, night. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.